Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is another Tumbling Rocks video. Our 2-pound barrel's empty, so I figured it'd be a good time to start a batch of our Jasper Agates. These Jasper Agates are pretty unique. We find them here on the shores of the Bay of Fundy, and basically they're big chunks of jasper with agates in them. And the agates are very distinct, as you can see, and they tumble up really nice and they look really cool at the end. So you're going to want to stay tuned, and what I'll do is I'll take some before pics of each of these pieces and we'll compare them to the end results. So I got a big supply of this stuff. I'm not going to worry about trying to get out every single detail. I just want to get a nice shine on them, get the agate shining, get the jasper shining, and I'll run it in stage 2, 3, and 4 in the vibratory. Stay tuned. In a couple seconds you're going to see the end result. Water's in there, rocks are in there. We're going to add 4 tablespoons of 4670 silicon carbide grit. And we'll stick the lid back on and fire her up. It's all loaded up, ready to go. See you in a week. Or for you right now. Okay, so I lied. It's actually a week later, and I am going to show you the results after stage 1. I just want to take a look at them. We'll probably keep some of them in there still to go through stage 1 some more. And we'll pull out any ones that are ready, and if there are ones that are ready, we'll just set them aside and we'll just fill the barrel back up with some more until we get enough for stage 2 in the lotto. So let's take a look at these rocks, what they look like after stage 1. So let's take a look at these. As you can see, they've got a nice preformed shape now. Still a little bit of a crack in this one. But like I said, I'm not going to be too fussy about these. I just want to get a nice little, I just want them to get rounded. I'm okay with them having a little bit of a natural look. I might get some really deep pits out of there. This one might go again. This one looks really nice. You can see some nice agate details, some lines. So I may run these, I might run all of these actually for a little longer. Might run them another week. And then we'll pull them out again. And then take a look. Okay, so here are the rocks cleaned up out of stage 1. I think I'll move all these along now to the Lotto tumbler for stage 2. I'm not going to try to get them perfect. They're looking pretty good as is. I don't want to take the time to try to get out every little imperfection. See, there's a little divot here, but this is okay to me. Everything else is smooth on this rock. So I'll move these along, and I'll show you how I set it up in a Lotto tumbler, and then we'll get it going. Okay, so everything's washed up, and it's in the Lotto tumbler. The Jasper Agates that I had were not enough to fill the Lotto tumbler, so I had to put in some extra stuff. So I put in some agates and some other small jaspers that I was waiting to run with some other stuff that were also needing to go into stage 2. So they filled up the barrel, and I put in some beads, some ceramic and glass beads that I've run from my stage 2 only. So I'm running those with everything. Basically how you fill this up is I fill it up about to here. I fill the whole barrel up with water, get everything wet. I dump all the water out, so all the rocks and everything in there is wet right now. And then I'll turn it on, get the tumbling action going, and then I'll add the grit. So the grit I'm going to be running is 120-220 grit, and it takes 2 tablespoons. So the good thing about the Lotto tumbler is you don't have to use a lot of grit. And this will run for 2 days. And that's another good thing about the Lotto tumblers. You don't have to run it for a week. So I'll run it for 2 days, check it, and it'll probably be good to move on to stage 3. So I'll show you how I set this up and add the grit. So this has some pretty good tumbling action, so I'll check this probably tomorrow morning just to make sure that everything is coated well with the grit. You want a nice slurry to form on top of the rocks, so I'll check it in the morning to see if that's good and see if I need to add a little more water, and then we'll go from there. So it's been 2 days in stage 2, 120, 220 grit in the Lotto with the Jasper Agates. So we're going to check it out here. Tumbling action has slowed down considerably, so we're going to check these now, probably move them on to stage 3. So what I do before I pull these out is I'll add a little bit of liquid Dawn. And some water. And I'll let that run for about 15 minutes. And then we'll be back and then we'll clean them up. Okay, so I've gotten all the rocks out of stage 3, cleaned up, and now they're back in the tumbler, ready for stage 4, which is the polish stage. So this is the final step. It's going to run 2 days in polish with a half a teaspoon of alumina, which is 10,000 grit polish, and 1 tablespoon of borax. So I'll see you in a couple days. Okay, so it's been 2 days in final polish and these rocks are ready to come out, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a Dawn bath, and then I'll probably burnish for 2 hours, and then we'll take a look at them. So they burnish for about 3 hours with 2 tablespoons of borax, and we're ready to check these rocks out. Okay, so here's the final product of our agatized Jasper. I have to say, these turned out really, really nicely. Really nice shine on these. I'll just zoom in here. I will get a close-up individual here in a minute, and at the end I will also do a before and after little slideshow of the ones that I actually took before pictures of, and I'll try to get them in the same orientation. Okay, so I'll come at them here individually in no particular order. Now, I'll put the recipe of how I tumbled these in the description. I basically follow Rob from Michigan Rocks' recipe on the Lotto tumbler. I did leave the rocks going a little bit longer in some of the stages. Like I think in stage 2, I think I ran it 3 days. And stage 3 pre-polish, I ran a little longer than 3 days. So see, there's really cool features on these. The thing I like about these agate features is they're almost like windows. You can see right into them, and sometimes there's a little bit of banding around the edge, and then sometimes you see a nice little window. There's a really cool piece I'm going to show you here in a minute. Now I could have tumbled these and got all the imperfections out. There's still a little bit of, you can see a little hole here. I'm okay with that. I mean, on my agates and these types of rocks, I'm okay with having a little bit of a natural look with the shine. I will tumble it in the rotary tumbler for stage 1 to see how much of it I can get out. But once I get a nice shape of the rock and there's not really any huge cracks in it anymore or really huge divots, I'll move it on. I'm not really trying to get it perfect. Here's one of my favorite rocks in this batch. This just came out awesome. I mean, look at this. This is pure chalcedony here. It's like a chalcedony window, and it has these botryoidals inside. It's like you're looking through a storefront window at botryoidal formations. It's so cool. That turned out really awesome. I'm really happy with that. And you can see a little bit of crystal pocket there that I'm going to clean that up a little more. There's still a little bit of grit in there. I didn't clean these up 100% yet, but I wanted to show them. I was too antsy to show them here. Small guy here. So I have tons of this stuff. I mean, I could tumble this for probably a couple years and still not run out. I have a lot of this material. Here's another cool window. It just looks so cool. There's like another little bit of a botryoidal action going in there. Really happy with how this batch turned out. Cool little agate and with a crystal pocket there. I think I stopped this one. There's still some, you can see, but I stopped it because I didn't want to lose this pocket. I wanted to keep it. It's a cool, that one's cool, different color, more of a brown, Jasper. So I think this equated to 2, so I ran this in my 2-pound barrel here. And I think I ended up, I think this took about 4 to 5 weeks. I ran a bunch of, some of these rocks went 3 weeks in stage 1, and I just kept replacing as I was pulling rocks out. So I ended up getting, I think, about 4 pounds. It was enough to fill the Rotary, or the Lotto. And actually I had to put a few more rocks in with it. Didn't quite fill the Lotto. Some of these are just a little plainer than others, but when I was picking out ones to run in this batch, I tried to pick the ones that had some pretty good agate features, like this one. This one was one of my favorites as well. This nice cool black agate in it. Looks like Space Nebula. So that was one of my favorites as well. This is also another one of my favorites. Nice little quartz pocket in this one. This one, I believe, this agate here goes all the way through. You can see on the other side here, right here, I believe that goes through. And some of these will do that. They're like kind of like a tube running through the whole thing. This one probably could have went in stage 1 a little longer. I didn't have to pull that one out as quick as I did. Well, sometimes they slip by you. Nothing too special about that one, other than it's nice and shiny, and it's Jasper. This is another one of my favorites. It had some really nice detail, agate detail here. I believe this was a bigger piece of agate that circled around this way, and I got half of it here. You can see it's like a tube, little tube running through there. It's probably another one I could have left a little longer, but it was getting pretty small, so that's probably why I pulled it out. That guy's pretty plain. Last but not least, another window style. So, that's it. It's the batch. Thanks for sticking through the video this long. And again, I'll put the recipe I did for this in the comments, or in the description. And I'll do a little slideshow right now of the before and afters of the ones I took befores of. So, thanks for watching. Take care.